What's up, everybody? Today I'm reviewing Animals by Pink Floyd. 5 songs, 40 minutes. Famously, the album is known for following Animal Farm by George Orwell, which I'll be real, I haven't read the book. I've read the Spark Notes though, and yeah, like loosely, it's kind of based off that, but the concept, I'm gonna be honest, when I heard so much about this album, I thought the concept would be a lot stronger. It's obviously there, but I don't think the concept is nearly as like strong and potent in its storytelling as people made it out to be. Like, yes, it's there. Yes, the message is there, but it's not like crazy, you feel me? So the album's basically about how capitalism and kind of this greed corrupts just society as a whole and people individually. And I think Pigs on the Wing, both the intro and outro, serve as kind of a reminder that, you know, maybe despite how shit things are getting, as long as we hold on to those close to us and care for those that are really important in our lives, maybe we get through it despite what might seem like impossible odds. And you know, that's a very touching meaning, or maybe I'm just looking into it way too much, who knows. Obviously though, the main star of this album are the 3 different animals or tracks. We have dogs, pigs, and sheep. I'll say right off the bat, I think sheep is the best one. That's my personal favorite. Instrumentally, it's my favorite. I love the outro section, of course. Now, however, that being said, I think each of these tracks are pretty fantastic. Each track is just a very atmospheric, flowy instrumental that kind of backdrops what Roger Waters wanted to say in his writing, and I think it works really well. I will say though, each track feels a bit formulaic. I will say each one has a similar layout. You know, we're always going to have this instrumental break halfway through that lasts like 2 or 3 minutes. We're always going to end on some new sort of guitar solo that wasn't previously on like the last 8 minutes of the song. And these 2 things reoccur on each of these 3 main songs, and I don't think that's like necessarily good. Personally speaking, I think each of these songs didn't necessarily need like a 3-minute instrumental in the middle. It can feel somewhat unnecessary sometimes. I think especially on Pigs, it's very noticeable. In my opinion, I think Pigs is lyrically and vocally probably my favorite track on the album, but instrumentally my least favorite. And I think the long interlude halfway through Pigs has to do with this. I just feel like the interludes don't really add a whole lot to the atmosphere, and they could have easily been like a minute and a half instead of the 2 to 3 minutes that most of them are. Each of these songs just have an amazing outro that makes you like levitate, right? But I always feel like they're a bit short, or they could have been aspects of it introduced throughout the song beforehand, because they always do feel kind of like out of left field and they're just tacked on at the end. And I really just wish they were longer, because they feel like second thoughts where Pink Floyd was like, oh fuck, at the end of the song, just put something crazy that sounds good. You get what I mean? Like, it feels kind of tiny bit forced. And now I know I'm dogging on this album a bit, but I will say this doesn't take away from the enjoyment I had of the album. So while I do have my complaints about the album, I still think it's a fantastic album. I never really necessarily feel like I want to skip anything in it. From start to finish, it's just a fantastic album with great instrumentation, pretty catchy vocals, and a good meaning in my opinion. When I review albums, I try not to compare an album by an artist to another album they've made, but I will say the main other album I've heard from Pink Floyd being Wish You Were Here, I feel like it's missing some of that emotion that was on Wish You Were Here. And obviously they're different focused albums, right? They're not focused on the same things. Comparing my listening experience to Animals to Wish You Were Here, there is definitely that emotional aspect that is just missing from Animals. Yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna probably give Animals by Pink Floyd an 8 out of 10. That's what I'm feeling right now. Tell me what you think about Animals in the comments below. Tell me any other Pink Floyd albums you'd like me to review, or maybe what your favorite one is. Make sure to check out the Patreon if you like what I do on here. It's 1 tier, $1. Got some unreleased footage on there. Thank you to Poppy John, Surmay, Favory, and I Pick Your Pocket. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. The next review is Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. And thank you for watching, and have a good day. A shelter from pigs on the wing.